Joining me now to discuss is New York Democratic Congressman Joseph Morelle. Congressman, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
We basically saw the new guard of the Republican Party at the UFC fight. They showcased a united front. You're watching this. You see them coming into cheers and applause. What was your reaction there? Is there anything Democrats can learn from this unification?
Well, actually, when I was in the New York State Legislature, I wrote the law that legalized mixed martial arts in New York State. So I feel like maybe I made a mistake. But no, seriously, look, it's. I understand the president's desire to unveil his new team to America, and these are the folks that he has selected to take leadership roles in the government. Obviously, it's unusual, and it will be jarring to some people to see it, but at the end of the day, this is entertainment, and I think it was used for entertainment purposes or maybe for shock value. But the really important thing is getting to work on behalf of the American people.
And I think the American public will agree. We know Vice President Harris raised more than $1 billion. She was defeated by President-elect Trump, of course. But Congressman, her campaign is still reaching out to donors, asking for donations, even though the election is over. Why would she still be asking for money here?
Well, I think you'd have to ask the Harris campaign. It's clear that in Washington, both the former and future president has fundraised during his entire time out of office. There is a lot of fundraising that goes on by people in our political world. So I don't know what she would do with the dollars or what her plans are. But this has become a 24/7, 365-day a year effort to raise money by all people in the in this space.
Especially with so many already looking forward to the midterms. I want to ask you about an Axios headline. It says this: House Democrats sick of House Speaker Emirata Nancy Pelosi. What do you think about that headline? Should she keep her opinions to herself, maybe not mention it publicly?
Well, look, Nancy Pelosi, former speaker and one of the legendary speakers in this country, is an elected representative of the Bay Area, and to the extent that she speaks out and people cover it, is entirely up to her. She has every right to speak out. Look, and I think, one of the things I love about the Democratic Party, I'm a proud Democrat, is people speak their mind. They say what they want. We are definitely the opposite of the Republican Party, where really they sort of make loyalty and obedience sort of one of the centerpieces of their party. Ours and our DNA is the sort of built in is this desire to disagree and go back and forth. And so it's, in my mind, look, Nancy Pelosi has every right to speak out, but there should be no question. Hakeem Jeffries is the leader of the House Democrats. He will be overwhelmingly reelected to the post. I don't think there's any confusion here in Congress about who leads the House Democrats any longer.
Let's look ahead to the hearing scheduled on Tuesday. It's set to dive into reports of FEMA workers skipping hurricane victims in Florida with Trump signs in front of their home. I asked one of your colleagues, Utah Republican Congressman Burgess Owens, about Congress holding this agency accountable. Here's what he said.
Well, it's more than just one person. This is an ideology that believes in one simple thing: misery is a political strategy. And this is what you're seeing right now. At the same time, if these were illegal aliens or illegal migrants, believe me, they would have all type of cushy opportunities to make sure they can make it through this tough times. So what we're looking at really is a heartless government, which is why we need to disrupt this. So these are the kind of things we're going to address. I'm hoping we can hold people accountable, not just firing them. If people are doing things purposely to hurt other Americans, they need to be held accountable in a criminal way.
Do you agree with him? Do you think migrants would get cushier, housing in a hurricane disaster like this one? And my next question: do you think criminal charges should be filed?
Well, look, there's a lot in there, and I have great respect for Representative Owens. But look, I think FEMA's responsibility is to go out and aid communities and families that are in the midst of problems as a result of natural disasters. If in fact there was preferences given or houses were skipped because of their political affiliation, that would be completely wrong. And you wouldn't have to be a Democrat or Republican or an independent to know that. Secondly, I'd want to know that this actually happened. I heard a lot of things during the campaign in the midst of both hurricanes hitting and the follow-up efforts to provide aid to people that simply weren't true.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.